Aladdin further exemplifies success in the way it enabled Orange County, the world's #1 tourist destination, to not only support its permanent population of 1 million, but also allow the county to meet the annual demands and expectations presented by 52 million tourists every year. Orange County, like many government agencies over the past years, has had to deal with annual budget cuts and staffing reductions. Aladdin, because of the efficiencies built into its workflow, enables county staff to continue to deliver the same level of customer service with fewer resources. Projects like Aladdin and Orange County's vision to pursue integrated enterprise GIS systems exemplify excellence in GIS. The Aladdin system, developed by Orange County, is a strong example of successful GIS integration and a model for URISA to share. Louis Schulcott, Orange County's GIS coordinator, presented in a session on Tuesday morning. Hopefully many of you were able to attend that session. Louis, please come up and accept our congratulations. The ESIG Review Committee was very impressed with the number submission and wished to recognize it as a distinguished system within this category. The Will County Master Address Point System. Hong Zhu, the director of the Will County GIS Department, participated in the luncheon session yesterday and shared insights about this distinguished system. Hong, please come forward and be recognized. Second enterprise system winner being recognized as exemplary was submitted by Kate Mann, Communications Manager of PSMA Australia for the PSMA system. This solution was deemed exemplary by the ESIG Review Committee because it involves the engagement, collaboration, and partnership between all governments in Australia, including federal, 6 state, and 2 territorial governments, in the delivery of a single system for the creating and facilitating of access to national data sets for government, industry, and community use. The provision of GIS data by the PSMA system isn't just a cool GIS project. It actually has a significant impact on the country as a whole as it contributes to a variety of economic, social, and environmental benefits. The PSMA system was developed with the intention of being a world-class system that enables the collection, standardization, integration, manipulation, and delivery of GIS data in an automated fashion. The example of intergovernment collaboration and the scale in which PSMA operates is because the PSMA system has revolutionized the manner in which data is gathered, integrated, and disseminated makes it an exemplary system. Kate was unable to attend the conference, but wanted us to know that they were very honored to be recognized, and they may be able to share a virtual presentation with us in the future, and we'll let you know when that becomes available. And congratulations to all the ESIG winners and distinguished systems, and thank you to the Review Committee for their great work. This year marks the 5th year of URISA's student competition, and this year's competition featured 2 tiers, papers and posters. The winning submissions are all posted on the URISA website, and thank you to the publication and student review committees for their efforts reviewing the submissions again this year. And are there any members of that committee in the audience that would stand and be recognized? Four papers were recognized by the review committee. Read the paper titles on this. Oh, those are instructions to me. Should get a professional. The first place paper is implementing a utility geographic information system for water, sewer, and electric case studies of City of Calhoun, Georgia, submitted by David Crawford and Ming Chi Hung, Northwest Missouri State University. First place winner. Second place, study of the public transit system accessibility based on the average opportunity accessibility measure, a case study of Fargo, North Dakota, submitted by Dinesh Damakari and Zhejian Zhang from North Dakota State University. Climate change and its impact on coral distribution in the Caribbean, submitted by Ron Mahabir from George Mason University. And impact of distance, traffic, and elevation on active transportation to school for children using GIS, submitted by Wu Dang from North Dakota State University. And I should mention that both of the winners from North Dakota State, I had the pleasure of participating in the geocaching event on Sunday, and we had a good time going out to some group hubs in the Pearl District, so that was lots of fun. And if I'm not mistaken, the only award winners here the only paper award winners here are Namish and Pu, so please come forward to be recognized. Congratulations. We've got some special individuals to recognize this morning. The Horwood Distinguished Service Award is named after founding member and first URISA president, Edgar Horwood. Horwood was an early pioneer in the field of information systems for local government and admired by all for his intellectual and organizational contribution to URISA. Horwood was the chair of the Constitutional Drafting Committee, giving URISA the open membership model that has led to our interdisciplinary organization. An occasional award is given for long-term service to URISA and to the profession. This award is URISA's ultimate award for service and leadership to URISA and within the geospatial industry. This year's award recipient is David DiBiase. Over the past 3 years, David has been the primary driver behind development of the geospatial technology competency model and the geospatial management competency model, which were both endorsed by the U.S. Department of Labor. Working in cooperation with the Geotech Center on the technology competency model. These two models are of critical importance to the geospatial profession. They guide the development of geospatial curricula for academic institutions and hiring practices across the spectrum of the geospatial community. In addition, David has served in an exemplary manner for the past 3 years on the URISA Board of Directors. He has also been the driving force behind the development of the first online GIS Masters at Penn State University. He's truly provided great service and leadership to URISA in the geospatial community. Let me say on a personal note that I participated with David on the board for these last 3 years. And especially the work that I was privileged to do with David over the last year or so in the development of the geospatial management competency model, where he brought together some of the exemplary people in GIS and in our industry in the past to serve on this panel and get a great piece of work done. So congratulations, David. Please come and accept this award.
Wow. I'm really grateful for the recognition. It was a complete surprise and a real delight. The list of people who've been honored with the Horwood Award in the past is very humbling. Maybe even more humbling is the list of whose names have not been added to that list quite yet. One of the former recipients, earlier recipients, is my boss, Jack Dangerman, who won the award in 1988. And Will Craig was president at that time. Will Craig himself was a Horwood Award winner in 1993. Will tells a touching story about Jack and the acceptance of the award. Jack was, like me, was very surprised and very honored and moved. So much so, Will recalls, that Laura Dangerman had to steady Jack as he rose to take the stage and accept the award. And I have to admit, when I found out, I was a little shaky myself. One more story about Jack very quickly. Shortly after I joined ESRI last fall, I was invited to present the Orchard Lecture at the University of Minnesota. This is a prestigious public address. I was very excited and very proud. And knowing that Jack was an alum of the University of Minnesota, and that he himself had presented the inaugural Orchard Lecture, I thought he'd like to know that I'd been invited. So the next time I saw him, I said, Jack, guess what? I was invited to Minnesota for the Orchard Lecture. He said, that's great. Who's speaking? So I want to say very quickly how grateful I am to the employers I've had who've made it possible for me to serve URISA and the GIS profession over the years. The great Penn State University encouraged my volunteer efforts throughout a 22-year career, and I'm proud to continue teaching there on a very, very part-time basis. Although I must say, in fairness to colleagues at Northwest Missouri State, they were the first online master's program. Penn State followed close behind. I'm also proud that my current employer, ESRI, has sponsored URISA for many years and has very quietly provided sponsorships and pro bono services that have contributed so much to the well-being of our field. And finally, I'm most grateful to URISA for bringing together so many kindred spirits dedicated to the proposition of service leadership. And I want to close by encouraging young professionals to bear in mind that serving your profession is one of the most effective ways to advance your own career and make the world a better place. Thanks everyone for this wonderful honor.
It says here, side to handle this. Oh no, that's okay. The URISA Leadership Award is presented to members who have demonstrated exemplary leadership of URISA, creativity, innovation, and dedicated support of URISA programs. This year, we're recognizing the man talking to his mama right now, Greg Levinsky. Now, isn't that a great picture? He's so seldom caught smiling. Someone must have sneaked up on him. Greg's had an exceptional tenure on the URISA board for 3 years as a board member and treasurer, and then a year as president-elect, and now a year as president. Chief among his ideas and accomplishments has been the initiation of the GIS Management Institute. The GMI will undoubtedly be a huge success for URISA and for the geospatial community, with his work in providing methodologies for organizations to measure their maturity and their return on geospatial investments. His work on the ROI methodology, the Municipal Geospatial Capability Maturity Model, with the Coalition of Geospatial Organizations on behalf of URISA, and on URISA's strategic plan, his travel abroad to establish URISA connections in many other countries, and his tireless, some might say maniacal, attention to detail, have helped URISA become more successful than ever this past couple of years. He certainly provided the leadership for which we grant this award. On a personal note, I have to tell you what an honor and privilege it's been to work with Greg these past several years on the URISA board. I have it on good authority that this is very difficult to operate. I have it on good authority that King County had to reassign 2 people to do his job while he's been doing URISA work. Thanks for everything you've done, Greg. Please accept our appreciation for your leadership, your example, and your hard work.
The next award, the Service Award, is presented to members who have demonstrated faithful service to URISA and participation in its programs over a period of several years. This year, the Service Award is being presented to my good friend Karen Stewart. Karen? Karen has led the URISA Industry Relations Committee since its inception in 2009 and has organized IRC meetings and what has become the annual IRC session at GIS-Pro and an integral part of the program. In addition, she's been a member of the Board of Directors from 2009 to 2011 and insisted on continuing to lead the IRC. Her humor and dedication to URISA has been a key element of her success with the IRC. And let me also focus again on a personal note where I first started getting involved with URISA, with Karen. And this actually, I think, led to my being considered to be on the Board of Directors, was our work as joint chairs of the Chapter Relations Committee. And I'm still not sure how I became a member of the Chapter Relations Committee, but it was a pleasure for our one-year term that lasted, what, about 3 or 4 years as co-chairs of the Chapter Relations Committee. So Karen, please come and accept this award. We appreciate the opportunity. We have a second individual to recognize this year in this category. Ken Sipos has been very special to URISA for many years, and we're recognizing him today with a special service award. A longtime URISA member and dedicated volunteer, Ken passed away this summer. We appreciate every moment we had with him. He was tireless in his work with URISA, even long after his health deteriorated. He had a number of health issues that he fought over the last several years, but he was always there at all the conference committee meetings and always on the teleconferences for the many committees in which he participated. We'll miss him very much. The next award is presented to members or staff who have made special contributions to URISA. This award, the Barbara Hirsch Special Achievement Award, was created to honor URISA's former Chief Financial Officer, Barbara Hirsch. The award is given to individuals or committees who have shown a similar consummate level of service to URISA through an ongoing commitment to our success as an organization. And I personally can't think of anybody who's a better recipient for this award. URISA's meeting coordinator, Pat Francis, is a well-deserving recipient. She has worked for URISA for nearly 9 years. She delivers impeccable member service at URISA's meeting as URISA's meeting coordinator, organizing abstract submissions, and supporting conference speakers and exhibitors. And it amazes me, again on a personal note, within the last week, within the last few days, within the last day of this conference and every conference, if I have a question, send it to Pat, I can get an answer back, and I know she's getting dozens and dozens and scores of emails like that. And she's just great customer service for URISA. If you've ever been a speaker at a URISA conference, you're certainly familiar with Pat's pleasant reminders and updates. We couldn't do it without her. Pat has always willingly stepped in whenever we needed and never fails to make interactions with URISA a wonderful experience. Pat, please come forward and accept this award. started with a simple idea and question. Why can't we, as GIS professionals, volunteer our expertise to undeserved communities around the world for a short period of time during the year? GIS-Pro coordinates short-term, volunteer-based GIS services to underprivileged communities. GIS-Pro implements URISA's vision of advancing the effective use of geospatial information technologies. The program makes available highly specialized GIS expertise to improve the well-being of developing and traditional communities without exploitation or regard for profit. GIS-Pro has been amazingly successful. Its founders built upon an existing professional culture with a history of strong commitment to public service and to caring for the disadvantaged, preserving the environment, and making communities and regions better places. The GIS profession, comprised of people with a unique technological experience and with idealistic visions for a better world, make a powerful dynamic with much to offer. Much to offer to the entire community that we serve. Again, on a little personal note, Sheree, who's going to come up here to, one of the people who come up here to accept this award, was the person who first approached me and asked me if I would run on the board of directors. And then when I was, to be honest, I didn't really know who she was and what she had accomplished. There's an aspect of our history that I'm glad didn't happen, because I found out about the origins of GIS-Pro. There was an international task force about 11 years ago that some of the past presidents who are here participated in, and Sheree was on that committee. And that international initiative considered several of the things that I think we're trying to implement now, but that was the origin of the concept of GIS-Pro. It's the one way that truly, every year since then, URISA has been an international organization. And the only thing that I could think for was that at the time they were considering calling themselves the Geek Corps. I think GIS-Pro was a better choice. Anyway, would Sheree and all the members of the GIS-Pro Core Committee come up here to accept this award? I want to recognize the members of the awards committee that made all of these selections. And if you would stand, if you're here, Ed Crane, Danielle Ian, Twyla McDermott, and Cy Smith. They were the awards committee members. Every year, URISA recognizes an outstanding chapter that has sponsored particularly effective activities or has otherwise excelled in serving its membership. The Outstanding Chapter Award criteria include innovation, outreach, education, and community impact. This year's award winner is URISA's Chicagoland chapter, and if any chapter members would come forward to accept the award. And let me acknowledge the members of the Chapter Relations Committee that go through a process on reviewing all of the chapter profiles that are submitted on an annual basis, and that's how the selection for the Chapter of the Year Award is made. Let me particularly recognize Amy Esnard from the Chapter Relations Committee Chair this year, and also Trip Corbin, who's the board liaison for the Chapter Relations Committee. So thanks a lot for your work.